Hi there, my name is Morgan Rysdon and I'm the creator of Center Studio, where I teach people skills to feel more comfortable more often. Now recently I was talking with a childhood friend of mine and we were talking all things motherhood, working, during a pandemic, all those kinds of things. And we got to talking about, how we're feeling and thoughts that we're having. And I noticed there was a lot of feelings that, were sort of overwhelmed and anxious. And I was talking to my friend about the things that I teach my students oftentimes in private lessons and group classes, and that's with regard to changing the way that we think. So changing the mental chatter that we have in our head and really questioning, is what I'm thinking helping me or is it hurting me? And oftentimes I'm telling people to question, is the thought that you're having one of an observation or is it a thought of judgment? And what I mean by that is, an observation, typically speaking, is anything that all people could agree on, right? It's something I observe, I see with my eyes. Everyone would say, yes, I see the same thing you do. For example, though that chair is brown, that chair is red, like, yes, everybody can see that, versus, oh, that chair is old. Oh, no, it's not old. I just bought that brand new. It's sort of vintage. They wear it out like that, but I spent a lot of money. It's brand new. Oh, okay. Oh, that chair is ugly. No, somebody else looks at it and says, it's beautiful. I love that chair, right? So being able to question, are the thoughts that I'm having ones of observation or are they ones of judgment? And typically speaking, most of us grow up having, this sort of mentality of judgment in place, like things are either better or worse, they're good or bad. Even from the way that we're graded in school is all kind of assessed on this scale of judgment. And I'm going to suggest that because we spend so much time in our own thoughts, it's really helpful if you can question if the thoughts that you're having are ones of observation or ones of judgment. So for example, let's say that I'm in my kitchen and I make spaghetti squash for dinner. And then I think to myself, I shouldn't have made spaghetti squash for dinner. And I'm saying that to myself because I'm looking at my 3-year-old and I'm looking at the pesto and the Parmesan and the spaghetti squash is like down her chest. And I'm thinking to myself, this is like a huge mess. And this is it's such a time, waste. I have to clean up all this, spaghetti squash. And somebody else next to me might be like, no, I love spaghetti squash. You should make that for dinner. Versus if I change that thought to an observation, I might stop and then think to myself, oh, when I make spaghetti squash, there's more to clean up. And so now I've removed the feelings of, I should have done something, so shame and guilt, or this is not as good, right, because I didn't do it that way. It just takes it so that it removes all of those and it places a statement that, again, anybody could agree with. Because anybody coming to my kitchen looking at my 3-year-old with spaghetti squash would say, yeah, looks like you have a lot more to clean up when you make spaghetti squash for dinner, right? So questioning the thoughts that you have and the thoughts that you're having and starting to replace them with things that are more of an observation tone than a judgment tone. So let's say you're driving to work and you miss a turn. Oh, now I'm gonna be so late, I missed that turn. Okay, that's gonna probably make you feel bad. Versus, okay, when I take this way on 5 minutes, it takes me 5 minutes longer to get to where I'm going, which is, again, something anybody could agree with. Because maybe somebody in your passenger seat would be like, oh, I like this way because we get to pass that beautiful oak tree. Who knows? But again, the point being is that if it's an observation, we free ourselves of these feelings of guilt or feelings of shame, things that'll bring us down. And let's face it, at the end of the day, the people that we spend the most time talking to are ourselves. So it can really make a difference to how we feel about ourselves when we change the way we're thinking. All right, so just something for you to consider as you go about your week. If you haven't already, friends, I would love if you would subscribe. It would mean so much to me. You can do so by hitting the button below. Okay, until next time, friends, take care. Ciao.